The massive screen in Earth's Defense Command Center lit up with warning signals. Admiral James Walker stood straight, his gray eyes fixed on the incoming vessel that had just appeared near the moon's orbit. After decades of watching the stars, humanity's first contact was about to begin, though not quite in the way they had hoped. Unknown ship, this is Earth Defense Command. Identify yourself. Walker spoke clearly into the communication system. His voice carried the weight of humanity's authority, steady and unwavering. The response came in perfect English, which was the first red flag. Primitive world, this is Lord Marcus of the Galactic Empire. Your planet is now under our protection. Prepare for immediate integration into the Empire's systems. Walker allowed himself a small smile. The Empire clearly hadn't done their homework. Lord Marcus, this is a courtesy notice. You are entering restricted space. Please provide your diplomatic credentials or leave Earth's solar system. A laugh echoed through the command center speakers. Credentials. You dare demand credentials from the Empire? We control 10,000 star systems. Your single world is nothing. Behind Walker, dozens of technicians and officers worked silently at their stations. Quantum computers processed data at unimaginable speeds. Defense satellites shifted into optimal positions, all without a single command being spoken. Final warning, Lord Marcus. Earth is not accepting new administrative oversight at this time. You have 5 minutes to retreat beyond Mars orbit. The Empire ship's response was predictable. A bright energy beam lanced out from its bow, aimed directly at New York City. It never reached its target. The beam hit Earth's quantum shield and simply disappeared. No explosion, no impact, no damage. It was as if the attack had never happened. Silence filled the command channel for 30 seconds. Impossible. Lord Marcus's voice had lost its smugness. Our scans showed no defensive capabilities. You're supposed to be a primitive world. Walker sat down in his command chair, taking his time to respond. Your scans showed exactly what we wanted them to show. Earth hasn't been primitive for a very long time, Lord Marcus. We've been watching your Empire's expansion for decades. You're bluffing. No single planet cold. Third planet in the Rigel sector. 2 years ago, Walker interrupted. Your forces bombed their cities when they refused to pay increased taxes. Survivor count, 0. Andromeda Arm, near the dust clouds, 8 months ago. You tested biological weapons on a peaceful farming world. Should I continue? The Empire ship's engines flared to life. Sensors showed power being diverted from weapons to shields. You don't understand what you're doing, Lord Marcus said. The Empire will not forget this insult. We will return with a fleet that will darken your skies. Walker pressed a button on his chair. A small hologram appeared, showing a detailed map of Empire ship movements across the galaxy. We know where every single one of your ships is, Lord Marcus. We know their capabilities, their weaknesses, and their scheduled maintenance stops. Earth didn't just sit and watch. We studied. We prepared. But how? That's not important right now. What is important is that you're still within our defense perimeter. 4 minutes have passed. You have 1 minute to leave, or we will demonstrate exactly why Earth is off-limits to your Empire. The massive Empire ship turned slowly, its golden hull reflecting sunlight. As it reached maximum acceleration, Lord Marcus transmitted one final message. This isn't over. No, Walker agreed quietly, though he had already cut the transmission. It's just beginning. After the ship disappeared beyond Mars, Walker turned to his staff. Send the alert to all Earth defense stations. The Empire won't take this lying down. They'll be back with everything they have. He paused, looking at the giant screen showing Earth's defensive grid coming fully online. And we'll be ready. In orbit, thousands of nanosatellites adjusted their positions. Deep under the oceans, quantum computers continued processing defense scenarios. And in cities across the planet, humans went about their daily lives, most of them unaware that their world had just stood up to the greatest power in the galaxy. Earth was no longer accepting new management applications. The sign was up, clear and simple. In HFY Forbidden. 3 days after Lord Marcus's retreat, a different Empire ship entered Earth's solar system. This one was smaller, painted in peaceful white and gold, and moved slowly with its weapons visibly powered down. Admiral Walker watched it approach from the Defense Command Center, but this time he wasn't in charge. Today's visitor would face someone even more formidable. Council Leader Anna. The Empire's new ship stopped at the exact distance Earth had specified. From it emerged a single shuttle, carrying Ambassador Thomas, the Empire's most skilled negotiator. He had convinced 30 worlds to join the Empire without a single shot fired. Earth would be different. The meeting room in the Geneva Space Center was simple but impressive. One wall was completely transparent, showing the Swiss Alps in the distance. Ambassador Thomas sat across from Council Leader Anna, his perfect smile never wavering. Earth has made quite an impression, Thomas said, spreading his hands in a friendly gesture. The Empire admires strength. Perhaps we got off on the wrong foot. We're offering Earth a special position within the Empire, full autonomy, trading rights, and protection. Anna smiled back, but her eyes remained cold. Protection from whom, Ambassador? The Empire is the only threat we've encountered so far. She pressed a button on the table. The wall behind her came alive with videos, hundreds of them, playing simultaneously. Each showed Empire ships attacking helpless worlds, soldiers rounding up civilians, worlds burning. Thomas's smile finally cracked. Where did you get these? We've had quantum stealth probes following your ships for 20 years, Anna replied. Unlike your Empire, Earth believes in gathering facts before taking action. Those worlds were in rebellion. The Empire brings peace and order. Order through fear isn't peace, Ambassador. Anna stood up and walked to the window. Did you know we've been receiving distress signals from within the Empire? Calls for help from worlds your people stripped bare. Pleas from species you've enslaved. Thomas straightened his jacket, trying to regain control of the conversation. Every great civilization has growing pains. The Empire is vast. Sometimes, mistakes are made. Mistakes. Anna turned back to him, her voice sharp. Let's talk about the farming world in the Andromeda Arm. Your Empire tested biological weapons on children. Was that a mistake too? The ambassador's face went pale. Those records are sealed. No one cooled. Earth sees everything, Ambassador. We've been watching, learning, and preparing, and we've made a decision. She handed him a data crystal. Earth is now a sanctuary world. Any species fleeing the Empire will find protection here. Thomas jumped to his feet. You can't do this. The Empire will never allow. The Empire doesn't have a choice. Anna cut in. We've already accepted our first refugees. 3 ships of them, in fact, while we've been talking. Your sensors won't find them. Our quantum shields work quite well, as Lord Marcus discovered. The ambassador's diplomatic mask shattered completely. This is an act of war. The Empire will respond with force. Anna walked him to the door, her voice calm. Yes, you probably will. And you'll fail, just like you failed today. Our quantum probes are tracking your fleet movements right now. We know you're gathering ships for an attack. We're ready. At the door, she stopped him with a final message. Oh, and Ambassador, those refugees we mentioned. They're building ships using our technology. Soon, they'll help others escape too. The Empire's days of unopposed terror are over. After Thomas's shuttle departed, Admiral Walker joined Anna at the window. That went well, he said. They'll attack soon, Anna replied, watching the shuttle disappear into the clouds. The Empire can't allow other worlds to see Earth standing against them. They'll throw everything they have at us. Walker nodded. The defense grid is ready, and our new friends are eager to help. Good. Anna turned away from the window, because this isn't just about protecting Earth anymore. It's about showing the galaxy that someone can finally say no to the Empire. High above them, Earth's quantum shield shimmered invisibly in the sunlight, ready for whatever came next. The sanctuary world was open for business, but not to those who brought chains with their promises of peace. The Empire's response came faster than expected. 100 warships appeared at the edge of the solar system, their golden hulls gleaming against the darkness of space. Captain Robert stood at his battle station aboard the orbital defense platform Alpha, watching the enemy fleet approach. "They're calling it a diplomatic blockade," he said to his crew, a slight smile on his face. "Apparently, 100 warships are needed for diplomacy now." The Empire fleet moved in a perfect arrow formation, designed to look impressive and scary. They had used this same tactic to frighten other worlds into submission. But Earth wasn't like other worlds. "All stations, activate nano-swarm defense system," Robert ordered. Around Earth, millions of tiny robots, each smaller than a fingernail, powered up their engines. They looked like silver dust in space, barely visible even on the highest magnification. The Empire Fleet's commander, General Stone, broadcast his message across all frequencies. "Earth, you have 1 hour to surrender and accept Imperial rule. If you refuse, we will demonstrate the true power of the Empire's fleet." Robert didn't bother responding. Instead, he activated the AI battle system. "Eve, you have control of the nano-swarm. Protect all Earth cities and installations." "Understood, Captain," the AI replied. Nano-swarm moving to intercept positions. The Empire ships launched their first attack right on schedule. 100 energy beams shot toward Earth simultaneously, targeting major cities across the planet. But they never reached their targets. The nano-swarm moved like a living thing, forming perfect defensive screens in front of each beam. When the energy weapons hit the swarm, something amazing happened. The robots absorbed the energy and redirected it into space, creating beautiful aurora-like displays. "Impossible," General Stone's voice boomed over the comm system. "No defense system can stop coordinated fleet fire." Robert finally responded. "Your weapons are based on energy projection, General. Our nano-swarm doesn't just block energy. It uses it. Thank you for recharging our defenses." The Empire fleet changed tactics, launching thousands of missiles. The nano-swarm responded instantly, surrounding each missile in a silver cloud. The explosives disappeared in tiny puffs of light as the robots systematically disassembled them molecule by molecule. "Eve, are you ready for the counterattack?" Robert asked. "Yes, Captain." Nano-swarm at full power thanks to their energy weapons, beginning Operation Turnabout. The silver cloud of robots split into 100 precise streams, each targeting an Empire warship. The robots surrounded each vessel, not attacking, but simply floating in perfect formation. "What are they doing?" one of Robert's officers asked. "Watch," Robert said quietly. The nano-robots began to spin, creating localized gravity fields around each Empire ship. The warships started to turn, slowly at first, then faster, until they all faced away from Earth. "Your ships are now pointed toward the exit, General," Robert announced. "We've also taken the liberty of disabling your weapon systems. You have 2 choices. Leave immediately, or we'll demonstrate what else our nano-swarm can do." 30 Empire ships tried to fight the gravity fields. Their hulls groaned as the robots increased the pressure. Warning lights flashed across their decks as systems began to fail. "You can't do this," General Stone shouted. "We are the Empire." "Not here, you're not," Robert replied. "Earth doesn't recognize your authority. Leave now." The 70 undamaged ships retreated immediately, jumping to light speed the moment they cleared the solar system. The 30 damaged vessels followed slowly, their engines struggling against the effects of the gravity attack. After the last ship disappeared, Robert's crew began to cheer. He raised his hand for quiet. "Don't celebrate yet," he said. "This was just their first wave. The Empire won't accept this defeat easily. They'll be back with a bigger fleet. But we'll be ready, won't we, Captain? A young officer asked. Robert looked at the tactical display, where Eve was already running simulations of larger fleet battles. The nano-swarm had returned to its patrol pattern, looking once again like harmless silver dust in space. Yes, he said, we'll be ready. And next time, they'll learn why Earth's ban on Empire entry isn't just a suggestion. It's a promise. Commander Lisa watched from the bridge of her stealth ship as another refugee vessel emerged from hyperspace. This one carried 300 escaped slaves from the Empire's mining worlds. It was the 5th ship this week, and it wouldn't be the last. Status report, she said quietly, keeping her eyes on the approaching vessel. Their engines are nearly dead, Commander, her officer replied. They'd barely made it through the jump. Empire patrol ships damaged their power core during the escape. Lisa nodded. Send in the repair drones, and get me a secure channel to Earth Defense Command. While the repair drones swarmed around the refugee ship, Lisa reported to Admiral Walker. Sir, the Empire's getting better at tracking the escape routes. We need to change our hyperspace paths again. Already done, Walker replied. Our quantum computers have mapped out 20 new routes. I'm sending you the encrypted coordinates now. The refugee ship's captain appeared on Lisa's screen. Like many of the Empire's mining slaves, his people had tough gray skin adapted to survive harsh conditions. His voice was rough from years of breathing mineral dust. Commander, we can't thank Earth enough, he said. But the Empire ships almost caught us. They're learning your rescue patterns. Almost doesn't count, Lisa smiled. Our quantum encryption is unbreakable. They can guess all they want. They'll always be one step behind. Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. Commander, her sensor officer called out. 3 Empire ships just dropped out of hyperspace. They followed the refugee trail. Lisa's smile didn't waver. Right on schedule. Deploy the hologram net. Space around them shimmered as thousands of perfect copies of the refugee ship appeared. The Empire vessels launched their targeting scanners, trying to find the real ship among the copies. Your ship is already cloaked, Lisa told the refugee captain. These Empire scouts are about to learn why we call this the Ghost Route. The Empire ships fired desperately at the holograms, their energy beams passing harmlessly through the fake images. Lisa watched calmly as her crew coordinated the rescue operation. Repair drones finished, Commander, her engineer reported. Refugee ship's power core is stable. Good. Give them the coordinates for Earth's sanctuary dock. Lisa turned to her tactical officer. Time to show our guests the exit. Hidden quantum torpedoes activated around the Empire ships. They didn't explode. They didn't need to. Instead, they created localized hyperspace fields, forcing the enemy vessels to jump to random coordinates far from any populated systems. Empire ships displaced, Commander, the tactical officer reported. They'll spend weeks finding their way back to known space. Lisa sent the encrypted coordinates to the refugee ship. You're clear for final jump to Earth. Welcome to freedom. The refugee captain's eyes were wet with tears. We heard stories about Earth, about how humans stood up to the Empire. But we never thought, never dreamed anyone would risk themselves to save others. That's what Earth does now, Lisa replied. We protect those who need protection, and we're teaching others to do the same. After the refugee ship safely jumped to Earth, Lisa studied the tactical display. Dozens of rescue operations were happening across the galaxy. Earth ships, hidden by technology the Empire couldn't match, were creating a network of freedom routes. Her communication officer spoke up. Commander, we're receiving 6 new distress calls. Slaves on 3 mining worlds, a laboratory planet, and 2 agricultural colonies are asking for escape routes. Plot the courses, Lisa ordered, and tell Earth we'll need more ships. The word is spreading. The Empire isn't as all-powerful as they claimed. She looked at the galaxy map, where hundreds of green dots showed successful rescues. The Empire's perfect order was cracking, one escaped slave at a time, and Earth's underground railroad was just getting started. "Set course for the mining worlds," she commanded. "Let's show more people the way home." The Empire's main fleet arrived like a metal storm. 10,000 warships filled the space between Mars and Jupiter, their golden hulls blocking out the stars. On Earth's defense command screens, they looked like an endless wall of death. Admiral Walker stood calmly at his post. "And so they finally show their true strength," he said to his officers. "All defense stations, report." "Quantum shield at full power," Captain Robert replied from his station. "Underground bases ready," Commander Lisa added from her bunker deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. "Refugee fleet in position," came the voice of their alien allies, hidden behind Earth's moon. The Empire's message played across all channels, broadcast by their new Supreme Commander. "Earth, you have corrupted the perfect order of the Empire. Your punishment will serve as an example to all who dare resist. No world can stand against 10,000 ships." Walker looked at his tactical display, where Eve the AI was already running battle simulations. "You're right about one thing," he said to himself. "This will be an example." The Empire fleet launched their attack. Millions of energy beams and missiles filled space, enough firepower to crack a planet. But Earth was ready. "Activate phase shift," Walker ordered. Earth shimmered and seemed to fade, like a mirage in the desert. The entire planet, along with its moon, shifted slightly out of normal space. Every Empire weapon passed harmlessly through where Earth had been, continuing into deep space. "Impossible," the Supreme Commander shouted. "No civilization has phase shift technology. Our scientists said it couldn't be done." "Your scientists were wrong about many things," Walker replied calmly. "Like thinking quantity beats quality." "Eve, show them our next surprise." The AI activated Earth's hidden weapon platforms, but instead of firing back, they released waves of energy that wrapped around the Empire ships like glowing nets. "Their weapons are powering down," Robert reported. "The energy drain is working." "Now," Walker commanded. The refugee fleet emerged from behind the moon, leading the counterattack. Ships built with Earth's technology, crewed by those who had escaped the Empire's cruelty, struck with perfect precision. They didn't aim to destroy. They targeted engines, weapon systems, and control centers. 5,000 enemy ships disabled, Lisa reported from her underground command center. No casualties on either side. The Supreme Commander's voice shook with rage. "You think showing mercy makes you strong. Watch what real power looks like." The remaining Empire ships formed a circle. Energy flowed between them, building up to power their secret weapon, a device designed to tear planets apart. Walker smiled. "Eve, initiate final defense protocol." Millions of nanorobots emerged from hidden positions around Earth. They formed a massive sphere around the Empire fleet, then began to spin. Light bent around them, creating a contained space-time bubble. "What are you doing?" the Supreme Commander demanded. "Showing you real power," Walker answered. "The power to win without killing. Your fleet is now trapped in a time bubble. Inside, only seconds will pass. Outside, we'll have all the time we need to disable your ships one by one." The Empire's super weapon fired, but the energy was contained within the bubble, harmlessly bouncing back at the fleet. "Final count," Lisa announced after an hour. "All enemy ships disabled. No casualties. Earth's defense grid still at 100% power." Walker broadcast across all frequencies, making sure every ship in the Empire fleet could hear. "Take this message back to your Emperor. Earth doesn't want war. We don't want revenge. What we want is simple. Freedom. For ourselves and for others. You can keep your empire, but not here. Earth's space remains forbidden to you." The defeated Empire ships limped away, their once shining hulls now dark and powerless. Behind them, Earth shimmered back into normal space, its quantum shield glowing with protective energy. "They'll be back," Robert said quietly. "Yes, Walker agreed. But not with ships next time. This defeat was too complete. They'll try something else. And we'll be ready, Lisa added. Walker looked at the tactical display, where Eve was already updating Earth's defenses with data from the battle. We're always ready. That's why we win. Council leader Anna stood before the massive communication array deep within Earth's broadcast center. Around her, technicians made final adjustments to the quantum transmitters that would carry Earth's message to every corner of the galaxy. All systems ready, the head technician reported. Our signal will override all Empire communications. Every screen, every holopad, every communication device in the Empire will show our broadcast. Anna nodded. Begin transmission. Across the galaxy, on thousands of worlds, the Empire's normal broadcasts suddenly stopped. Instead, screens filled with clear, undeniable evidence of the Empire's crimes. Earth's quantum probes had recorded everything over the past 20 years. The images showed Empire ships destroying peaceful worlds, children being taken from their families to work in mines, entire species forced into slavery. But more importantly, it showed something else: Earth's successful resistance. Commander Lisa's voice narrated the scenes of Earth's victories. The Empire told you they were invincible. They lied. We have defeated their ships. We have broken their chains. And we are ready to share our technology with any world that chooses freedom. On the trading world of Crosspoint, alien merchants watched in silence as the evidence played on their market screens. An Empire tax collector tried to shut down the broadcast, but the merchants stopped him. In the mining systems, slaves looked up from their work as the message played on their overseers' communication devices. They saw their own people being rescued by Earth's ships, finding sanctuary on a blue world that dared to say no to the Empire. The Empire's power is based on fear and lies. Anna's voice continued. But fear only works when you're alone. You are not alone anymore. Earth stands with you. And we have already proven that the Empire can be defeated. The broadcast showed the recent battle. 10,000 Empire ships defeated without a single death. It showed the Underground Railroad saving thousands of slaves. It showed Earth's defensive technology protecting refugee worlds. Admiral Walker appeared on screen next. To any world that wants freedom, we will share our shield technology. We will help you protect your people. The Empire's time of easy conquest is over. In the Imperial Palace, the Emperor watched in rage as his own citizens began sharing the broadcast. His emergency override codes did nothing against Earth's quantum signal. Every attempt to stop the transmission failed. On 100 worlds, protest riots began. On 1,000 more, local governors found themselves facing angry citizens who now knew the truth. Trade routes started shutting down as ships refused to carry Empire cargo. You don't have to fight them directly, Captain Roberts' voice explained to the galaxy. Just refuse to help them. Without your cooperation, without your fear, the Empire is just empty ships and meaningless orders. Back on Earth, Anna watched as reports flooded in from across the galaxy. Empire military bases were being surrounded by their own citizens. Slave worlds were declaring independence. Trading guilds were canceling Empire contracts. They're running, Lisa reported from her command post. Empire ships are retreating from 30 systems already. Local defense forces are taking control. The Empire's response came swiftly but uselessly. This is rebel propaganda, their official channels claimed, but no one was listening to them anymore. Every time they tried to broadcast, Earth's signal would override them again, showing more evidence of their crimes. Second wave of transmissions ready, the head technician told Anna. We have enough evidence to keep this going for months. Anna smiled. Keep broadcasting. The Empire spent centuries building their power through secrets and fear. Let's see how well they do when everyone knows the truth. Around Earth, the quantum shield glowed quietly, protecting humanity's home. But Earth's real victory wasn't in its defenses. It was in showing the galaxy that resistance was possible, that freedom was worth fighting for. The Empire's perfect order was breaking apart, defeated not by weapons, but by the simple power of truth. The Emperor himself led the final attack on Earth. His personal fleet, 10 times larger than the last one, dropped out of hyperspace all at once. 100,000 warships, gathered from every corner of his crumbling empire, filled the solar system with golden hulls and burning engines. But they weren't alone. Friendly ships detected, Eve announced in Earth's Defense Command. 5,000 vessels from the free worlds approaching from all directions. Admiral Walker watched as ships crewed by former slaves and rebels took position around Earth. The very people the Empire had oppressed were now here to defend humanity's homeworld. All stations report, Walker commanded. Quantum shield at maximum power, Captain Robert responded. Underground command ready, Commander Lisa added. Refugee fleet in attack position, came the chorus of alien voices. The Emperor's face appeared on every screen. He looked older than expected, his eyes burning with desperate anger. "You've poisoned the galaxy with your ideas of freedom," he snarled. "Order will return once Earth is destroyed. All ships, fire." The Empire fleet launched their attack. Energy beams and missiles filled space like a storm of light. Earth's quantum shield absorbed the first wave, glowing bright blue under the assault. But this time, Earth didn't just defend. "Eve, execute Freedom Protocol," Walker ordered. The AI sent commands to thousands of hidden quantum satellites. Beams of pure information shot out, targeting the Empire's ships. Not to destroy them, but to reach their crews. On every Empire ship, screens came to life. They showed the truth about the Emperor himself, his secret deals with crime lords, the wealth he stole from conquered worlds, the luxury he lived in while his people suffered. "No," the Emperor shouted. "Override those signals." But he couldn't, because his own crew stopped following his orders. All across the Empire fleet, crews began shutting down their weapons. Ship captains who had served for decades looked at their Emperor's true face and made their choice. Weapons powered down. Engines went quiet. Multiple surrenders detected, Eve reported. 80,000 Empire ships standing down. The Emperor's personal guard tried to force their crews to fight, but it was too late. The truth had spread too far. "You're finished." Council leader Anna's voice rang across all channels. "Not just here, but everywhere. Your own capital world is in revolt. Your palace has fallen. The Empire exists only in your mind now." The Emperor's ship turned to run, but found itself surrounded by vessels from the free worlds. Former slaves and rebels watched as the most powerful man in the galaxy realized he had lost everything. "Kill me then," he demanded. "Complete your revenge." "No," Walker replied simply. "Earth doesn't kill. Even you can claim sanctuary here if you're willing to face justice for your crimes." The Emperor's ship went quiet for a long moment. Then, surprisingly, it moved toward Earth's orbital dock. "He's surrendering," Lisa announced, disbelief in her voice. The next few hours were busy as Earth coordinated with the free worlds to secure the Empire fleet. Ships full of crews wanting to defect. Planets calling for admission to the new alliance. The old order was ending, not with a final battle, but with a choice for peace. 1 week later, representatives from 500 worlds met on Earth to sign the Charter of the Democratic Federation. The Emperor, under house arrest, but treated with dignity, watched from his quarters as the galaxy chose a new path. "Will it last?" Captain Robert asked Walker as they watched the signing ceremony. "The Federation. Maybe. Freedom. Definitely." Walker smiled. "Because now everyone knows the truth. Any world can say no to tyranny. Any people can choose their own path." High above them, Earth's quantum shield still glowed, protecting humanity's home. But it wasn't just a shield anymore. It was a symbol, a reminder that sometimes the strongest weapon isn't a fleet of warships or a superweapon. Sometimes, the strongest weapon is simply having the courage to say entry forbidden to those who would take away freedom.